that you can ask questions or whatever. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna. Yay! I'm so happy to see you guys logging in. Okay, so I want to get started. I know I'm 15 minutes late, so thank you guys for waiting. You guys are awesome. I'm sure you guys want to know more about, hopefully you guys are here to learn about law of attraction and soulmates, so that's what I want to share with you. I have 3 main questions that I always get, and if you guys have any trouble hearing me too, please do let me know in the group chat. Okay. Everything should be working smoothly so far. So I have 3 main questions that I really want to address on this video. The first one is obviously, how do I use the law of attraction, universal laws, to attract a soulmate relationship? So that's number 1. Number 2 is, how do I uncover any sabotaging or limiting beliefs that are keeping that person or that relationship away from me, which is key with this. And then 3, I want to go into how you can, because as of late, I've been getting a lot of people saying, I'm having trouble letting go of my ex or moving on from a relationship. So I'm going to share with you strategies. I'm going to share with you actually a very physical, very immediate thing that you can do to help with your emotions. And then of course, a mindset, law of attraction thing that you can implement to help you get long-term results, lasting results. So I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay, because I don't see anything. Right. Okay, so first let me get started. Soulmates. A lot of this information, a lot of the law, well, I'm a certified law of attraction coach. Let me preface this. So I'm a certified law of attraction coach. I work a lot with meditation and energy and of course processes of the law of attraction to help people understand how they can actually visualize and focus on things that they want to attract in their life. So I'm really coming from a standpoint of law of attraction. A lot of my favorite teacher in the whole wide world is Abraham Hicks. I also listen to a lot of Marianne Williamson, a lot of the practices in A Course in Miracles, 𝔱𝔱, another channeled being, or Daryl Anka channels 𝔱𝔱. And then experience, a lot of it's experience too, of course. With the certification course. Oh, Orrin and DeBen. Orrin and DeBen they're both channeled beings where I learn a lot of my meditations from. So they're really awesome. So that being said, first and foremost, what are soulmates? And if anybody has any idea, I want you guys, don't feel shy. You say hi. Hi guys. Let me know what you think. Sorry for the noise. I'm in a noisy area, but so what exactly are soulmates? Okay, so soulmates are in this physical form, they're people that embody, whose core frequency, whose soul is a literal match to your core frequency, your soul. So when you have a soulmate, it's literally someone who has a soul that's a mate to your soul. And we all have many, many soulmates. It's taught that we come down in clusters or these soul groups. And so chances are you incarnated into a family of soulmates. Chances are you've attracted many soulmates already in your life. Soulmates can also come in the form of, they're not just romantic relationships, they're friendships, they're teachers, they're students if you're a teacher, they're business partners, they're employees. They're people, again, that have a core frequency that match our core frequency. And relationships are, here's the thing, you guys, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change who you are. You literally don't have to be anything different than what you are. There's nothing extra you have to add to yourself to bring in a soulmate. Attracting a soulmate is one of the most natural, one of the most easiest things you could ever do. We are attracting relationships all the time unless we're in sabotage. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable that you're going to attract a soulmate. What happens though is that if we are not connected with our own core frequency, which I'll explain what that means. If you're not connected with who you really are, then that's what's holding a soulmate away from you. It's not that they're not around. It's not that they're not right around the corner. And it's not that you haven't already met them. Chances are you've already met them. Chances are you were in a relationship with maybe a few. Obviously, you want to get clarity on really exactly what you're looking for, but what happens is it's not that the soulmate doesn't exist, or it's not that the one person that you thought was your soulmate got away. No, there's multiple opportunities. You got to believe that this universe is abundant. And that's really the first thing that I teach my clients. If you are coming from a space of abundance, whether it's abundance in money, abundance in relationships, abundance in whatever, you're never going to be, one, struggling to find what you need. You're not going to be clinging to one form of a soulmate relationship. You're going to know that even if one relationship didn't work out, there's another one and another one and another one. There's an abundance of soulmate relationships that will work, that will fulfill whatever it is you're looking for. So one, come from a place to know that soulmate relationships are inevitable. If you are aligned with your core, it is inevitable that you will attract a soulmate. So what does this mean? To be aligned with your core. Basically, let your emotions be your guide. When you're aligned with your core, you're feeling good, you're confident, you're at peace, or you're doing things you love, you're happy with where you're at, you're finding things to appreciate, you're following things that you're passionate about, you're just feeling good. It's as simple as that. What it doesn't look like when you're repelling, when you're not in your core, in your center, and therefore not resonant, not a match to your soulmate, that looks like you being bored, or you being lonely, or you sitting at home every night in front of the TV, in front of the TV thinking, oh my gosh, I'll never meet my soulmate. I'm so lonely. I'm so frustrated. My life sucks. Anything that doesn't feel good, basically, anything that feels like anything less than positive expectancy, appreciation, joy, excitement, is an indicator that you are not aligned with yourself. And if you are not aligned with yourself, you are not in resonance. You are not a match to your soulmate. Therefore, they can't find you. They could be zooming right past all around you, but they will never see you because you're not aligned with yourself. So that's really first and foremost. So hopefully you guys get that. Please let me know if that doesn't make sense, because I don't want to harp on it too much. But basically, you guys, the first thing to know is that, one, we come in clusters. Soulmates come in clusters. There's many, many soulmates that we will have wonderful encounters with, and they'll each have their own dynamics. They'll each have their own flow and ebb and completion. Some soulmate relationships are not meant to be the lifelong partnership. Sometimes people come into our lives to prepare us for that lifelong partner. And that doesn't mean that anything went wrong. It could have been a wonderful relationship. It could have very well been, it most likely was a soulmate relationship. Really, at the root of everything in your life, in this moment, is a match to your frequency, your soul and essence. Everything. I want you guys to think of the universe, of your reality, as an extension of your mind, just as the body is an extension of your mind. And what I mean by that is your body will give you real-time, immediate reaction to what you're thinking. As an example, if I convinced you right now that there was a 10-foot grizzly bear outside your door clawing to get in, wanting to just rip you shred to shred, and you believed it, your mind would be telling your body, oh my God, let's start pumping adrenaline. Let's start getting ready to fight or flight. And your body would be responding to what you believe, even if there is no grizzly bear. So your body is an instant indicator, an instant guide to what you're thinking. So just as your body is an extension of the mind, the universe, your reality, your immediate reality, is an extension of your mind as well, because we attract what we're vibrating, what we're thinking, what we're feeling. And this is Law of Attraction 101. So if you're, as an example, if you're a positive person, if you think positive things, if you do things that, if you think positive things and you genuinely speak positively and you have beliefs that everything's working out for me, I know things are going to come into place, whatever positive thoughts you may think, if that's your general way of thinking, you attract a positive reality. You're going to be happier. You're going to be around other people that are happier. You're going to be drawn to things that make you happy. You're going to want to go out and meet new people and do things that feel good. Versus if you're a negative person and you think life sucks, or I'll never meet my soulmate, or whatever, life's hard, blah, 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 you're in this negative spiral. That's what you're emitting. That's what your frequency is. And therefore what you're attracting is more things to be negative about. You're going to be focused on what's negative in life. You're going to be seeing what you're seeing and what you're attracting all will resonate with what your frequency is, what you think and what you believe. So hopefully that makes sense. So at any point in time, you can look around you and see where your frequency is, where you're vibrating. And if it's less than ideal, then use that as a chance to start getting clear on what's going on within you. Because when you shift what's going on within you, with your energy, with what's going on inside, then everything else starts to shift. The body, your health improves, your emotions improve, and what you attract into your life will become significantly better. So why I'm saying this is that really anyone that you've attracted into your life thus far was in essence a soulmate, because they were a match to your frequency at that time. Now the trick is that if you're operating at a frequency that is not aligned with your core, with who you really are, which you will know if you're aligned with who you really are because you'll be feeling good. It's all about feeling good. Feeling good is alignment. Feeling bad is not alignment. I don't want to say disconnection completely, but it's not. It's a variation of not being connected. Does that make sense, you guys? Let me know. Okay, so law of attraction. So how to use law of attraction? So basically with law of attraction, know that this is an attraction-based universe. You do not have to force anything to happen. You are naturally attracting your soulmate. You are naturally attracting everything that resonates with what you're being at this time. If you are aligned with your core frequency, i.e. you're feeling good, you're doing things that make you feel good, you're following your passions, you're moving around, you're being active, you're happy, you seek out other happy people, you just feel good, then you're aligned with your core frequency. And then it's only a matter of time that you attract a person that also resonates with your core frequency. However, if you are in a state of being where you feel bored, or you feel frustrated, or you feel angry, maybe you just got out of a relationship and you're like, I'm so frustrated with my relationships and nothing works. Guess what? You're not aligned with your core frequency, because your core frequency feels good no matter what. No matter what, because your core frequency knows that this is an attraction-based universe and that it is inevitable that the person and the things that you are seeking are going to be drawn to you. Dr. Wayne Dyer, I think had a book, or he had a phrase that was, what you seek is actually seeking you. Because we don't force things to come to us. We allow them. We allow ourselves to receive. Law of attraction is all about receiving. It's not about forcing. It's about receiving. It's about, am I aligned with my core? Am I feeling good? Am I doing things that feel good? Am I thinking positively? Do I believe that things are always working out for me? Do I believe that it's inevitable that I'm going to find the relationship that I desire? If so, you're aligned with your core frequency, and then it really is only a matter of time. So that's quite simply how the law of attraction works with that. The outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The universe is entirely based on attraction. All you got to do is find things that feel good and align with your core frequency. I also want to talk about love too, because a lot of people think that when they say just love yourself or just be in a state of love, love is not just one singular emotion. When they say love, you should just love yourself, it doesn't mean, you should, it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic feeling about yourself or about anyone else for that matter. Love is a spectrum, just like the rainbow has, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. The rainbow has a spectrum of light. Love is a spectrum of emotions. And those include excitement, those include appreciation, those include you're loving someone when you're allowing them to be who they are just as they are. You're loving life when you're allowing life to be as it is. You're loving yourself when you allow yourself to be where you are. And then of course, love can be romance as well, but it's a spectrum of emotion. So anytime that, again, you feel good or you feel just appreciation, if you can find something to appreciate or something to just accept, you're actually in a state of love, which is the highest vibrations of the universe. Okay, so question number 2, how do I discover, actually, let me see if you guys have any questions too. Okay, good. So the next question is, oh my gosh, a lot of people logged in. So hopefully you guys, I don't know if, I don't see if anyone's typing anything, but if so, if it's like anything like Facebook Live, I'll probably find out after I log off. So if you are typing it, I don't see it. So I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so hopefully you guys all got that. Just to recap, because I like to recap, I want to make sure you guys get it. How to work with law of attraction is understanding you don't have to force anything to happen. Things are coming to you. They're coming to you at an incredible rate. And if you just get out of your own way, if you just find a reason to feel good, if you find a reason to just be at peace, what you will be doing is aligning with your core. You'll be aligning with your soul. And only until you are aligned with your soul, only until you are a match to your own soul, will your outer world reflect a person, a relationship that also matches your soul. And what that feels like when that person comes in, it feels very natural. A lot of people, it's going to be like, oh, and you know, for a soulmate, because it's so natural, and this is what Abraham teaches too, it's just kind of like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, you like that too? Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, you're learning about law of attraction? Yeah, me too. Oh, that's so cool. And it's like the most natural evolution. It's just really, it's like coming home, because you are coming home. You are coming back to center. You are back to center. Otherwise, you would not have been able to attract that relationship. So it's easy. Just find any excuse you can to come back to you. And if it takes time, that's okay. Number 2, how do I discover my hidden blocks or sabotaging beliefs? Okay, this is one of the practices that I learned during my certification, while I was getting my certification, and I loved it because it was kind of like a huge aha moment for me. Your little voice, your beliefs are always revealing themselves to you, always. And a way to get in touch, and it's so subtle. We have so many automatic beliefs. Did you guys know that it's been studied that we think anywhere between 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day? So that's an incredible amount, and the majority of those thoughts we're not conscious that we're thinking them. They're like in the background, they're in the back of our mind. So the key is, how do we slow down our mind enough to get in touch with what are we really thinking? And a really good practice for this is journaling. So if you guys actually have a journal right now, that would be great. But what you would do is you would start writing what you desire to attract. So I would say, if I were coaching you, I would say, okay, you're going to set out an intention to attract an amazing relationship, a soulmate relationship. So start writing all the reasons why you can have it. Start writing all the reasons why you intend to attract this relationship. So you might say, okay, I intend to, or I am ready, whatever resonates with you. I always use I intend, because when you say I intend to do something, it's like I'm going to do it. It has a commitment, it has more of a stamp behind it. Like to, that's kind of like wishy-washy. So you can say I intend, or I'm excited to attract this relationship, or I declare is another one, another phrase we use a lot. But in this case, I'll say I intend to attract this amazing relationship because it will be fun. I know it's natural. I just love having a true partner that I can go on adventures with, go on vacations with, travel with, talk about law of attraction, talk about spirituality, all of these reasons. And then the key is, while you're writing this, while you're writing why you intend to receive this relationship, because again, you're just receiving it. You don't have to force it. We're in an attraction-based universe. This is about alignment. Receive it because it'll be fun to do this, that, or the other. while you're writing all those reasons why you would love to receive this relationship, you're going to have a little voice in your head that's saying, most likely, that's saying, yeah, but what if it doesn't come true? Or, yeah, that sounds really nice, but like, what if you're too old? Or, what if you're going to have all these reasons popping up that are going to indicate to you what you truly believe, and most likely what has been preventing you from receiving this relationship already. So hopefully that makes sense. So you're going to be writing out in your journal all the reasons why you intend to receive this amazing relationship. And it can be all the reasons why you believe you will. Like, I know it's going to happen. Like, I've attracted soulmate relationships before. I know that my friends in my life are soulmates. I know it's inevitable. I can't wait to go on adventure, whatever it is. While you're writing it, get in touch with that little subtle voice that is going on behind the scenes. And writing is so good for this too, because writing allows you to slow everything down. When you're writing, you're totally focused on what you're writing on. And if you keep up or keep it at the momentum of the speed of your writing, you're going to be slowing the mind down enough to really connect and listen to the conscious layer of what's going on behind the scenes. So get in touch, start journaling, start journaling, start listening to what's really going on. Are you telling yourself that? Are you having doubts about it happening? Are you having doubts about your worth? That's a big one for people. A lot of people feel like for whatever reason, they're not enough. Well, I'm not, I'm really not where I want to be in my life would be attracted to me, or I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough money, I don't blah, 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 blah. Whatever those basically bullshit beliefs are, that's where you want to start the work. That's where you then, once you discover, I can't believe I've been thinking for so long that I don't deserve a good relationship because I don't believe I'm good enough. Let's just say that. Once you discover that's the belief, then you can start working on it. Then you can do processes. There's tons of law of attraction processes that help you shift up from a low vibrational belief. And what I mean by that is that there's a spectrum of emotions. The highest, of course, is love, enlightenment, being empowered, confident, etc. And the lowest is depression, fear, basically. You operate from two basic vibrational standpoints: love, fear. And then there's a whole spectrum of in between. So if you're in doubt or irritation, you're somewhere closer to the middle, but still not where you want to be. So you just really gently, and work with a coach with this too, or a friend or a mentor, or if you can find processes online and just work through it with yourself, really take the time to do the inner work. If you don't do the inner work, nothing's going to change. And that's really the key too. With Legendary Love, it's not so much about figuring out what you want, because you know what you want. You really do know what you want. And more importantly, the part of you, your core, already knows how to get it, already knows it exists, already knows how to take you exactly to where you want to be. So there's no work for you to do, except if you have those crazy beliefs that are sabotaging you from putting yourself out there or being in the right place at the right time, because you're not a match. You're not a match to synchronicity because you're not a match to yourself. You're not in alignment with everything that'll put you in the right place at the right time with the right people saying the right things. And that's all with alignment. So you've got to do the inner work. You've got to do the journaling. It is so worth it. And so amazing to uncover what's really going on behind us. A lot of the beliefs we've been carrying with us for so long. A lot of this stuff comes from childhood, and a lot of this stuff is what as we grow up, especially if you grew up, which most of us, I assume, grew up in a very public setting. We grew up in a school system surrounded by kids that had their own opinions of us, and life in general will have us form different beliefs about ourselves. We have to get to a point where we make a conscious decision. Do I still want to believe this? Or do I choose to think something better? Do I choose to think something else? Do I choose to believe in something else? Or at least am I open to the idea that there's another reality, there's another possibility available for me? And that only comes through doing the inner work. Okay? The inner work is so important. I can't stress enough. Do the inner work. Do the meditations. Do the journaling. Get in touch with yourself. Okay, so I don't want to take up too much time. So number 3, how can I finally get over my past, move on, and make space for a new relationship? I've been getting this question so much. I have two tips. The first one's a very physical level tip, and the second one's obviously going to deal more with law of attraction. The first tip is that if you are feeling like needy and clingy and dependent and really emotional about something, chances are your estrogen levels are really high. So what I would encourage anyone that just got out of a relationship is to, especially if it was if there was a lot of, if it was a relationship where you were really bonded with them. When you're really in a couple relationship where you're really bonded with someone, you're going to have elevated levels of estrogen. You're going to have, you're going to be more, you're going to be more in a feminine energy, which is totally okay. We all have varying degrees of masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. The issue with that is that on a physical level, the more estrogen we have, the more emotional we are about things. And ladies, I know, you know what I'm talking about when we hit that time of the month, and it's like everything, we're just like, for me, it's like you can see something that would not normally make you cry, like maybe like a little puppy walking across the street by himself, and you're like, but if you're in a state where your estrogen levels are increased, it's like it hits you in a much, much different way. Versus if you're in a state where really the hormones are balanced at a natural level. So what I would say is if you feel like you're being overly emotional or overly clingy or overly attached to a relationship that ended, do things that boost your testosterone. Do something physical. Really get in your body. Start to bring more of that masculine energy back into yourself, because that's going to be more of a forward motion energy. That's going to help you move. I mean, there is a grieving. There is an amount of time where it's healthy to grieve. One thing I've always learned when I was getting my certification is that if you have 10 tears to cry and you've only cried 8 of them, you're going to manifest reasons to cry out those 2 remaining tears. So go through the grieving process. This is by no means saying just, be completely in denial of where you're at. Accept where you're at, but then also do things to move you forward. So my things that have always helped me is lifting weights, like 10, 15 minutes of just like physically intense. So lifting weights or even going for a run. I would say yoga, but yoga is I would say do something a little bit more intense than yoga, unless yoga makes you feel really good. For me, it puts me more in a feminine receiving mode. So you want to do something that makes you feel strong. When you feel strong, when you get that masculine type energy, it becomes so much easier to become a little bit more detached from what's going on, from that person. You're in a more forward type of momentum. And the second thing is really what's going on too, in a law of attraction standpoint, this is actually just a spiritual principle. If those of you guys that are into Buddhism, you probably know that the root of all suffering is attachment. So really the opposite of attachment is acceptance. Not necessarily letting go. It's not like pushing something away, but it's just accepting that where you are is where you are. It's accepting that this relationship's over, for now at least. Or it's accepting that the person that I thought I would be with for the rest of my life is not that person. So it's accepting the loss of that attachment, the attachment to the idea that this relationship was going to be something else than what it is. When you can accept things as they are, when you can be okay with anything, including yourself, as it is, you put yourself back into alignment with you, right? Acceptance is a form of love. I accept you as you are. You do not have to change. You are as you are, and I accept you. I accept myself. I'm hurting. Maybe you're hurting right now. I accept the situation. I might be a little bit confused, but that's where I'm at, and that's okay. And as you accept things as they are, you get closer and closer to coming back to your center. And once you get back to center, you will start feeling better. You'll start manifesting better feeling thoughts. You'll start being more positive. Your vibration will rise. And then as your vibration rises, it puts you back in synchronicity with everything that correlates to your core frequency. It's only when we stay attached to something that we need to let go of that we cause ourselves suffering. When we stay attached to something that served its purpose or completed its evolution, we're not letting ourselves grow. We're not letting ourselves be available for what that relationship prepared us for. So just accept that where you're at is where you're at, and that's okay. And where the X is and who the X is who they are, and that's okay. Another thing too is it talks about, I mentioned something about forgiveness, just, forgiving someone for whatever happened. It's not the same as condoning, but it's really accepting that this happened and this person is who they are, and I am where I'm at, and I accept that. And I accept that so I can let it continue to float away. There's an analogy that Abraham always uses. It's we're in the stream. Life is the stream. It's continually flowing. And all we got to do is get in the stream and let our canoes be pointed in the right direction, and the stream will carry us. It's only when we get our canoes, so to speak, upstream, pointed upstream or counter to where we want to go, that we feel this resistance and we feel so uneasy. Well, being bitter or being angry or being frustrated that something didn't work out or feeling like someone doesn't deserve us to forgive them, all that really does is it points our canoe upstream, when it's really just so much easier to accept things where they are, as they are, so you can continue to move downstream. You can continue to remain in alignment with your core frequency, because only when you are in alignment with your core frequency will you attract the person that truly matches your soul, a soulmate. So I hope this helped. This was really fun. I'm sorry I was late, you guys, but that's pretty much it. Let me see if there's any questions. No questions. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if there's just no questions or I'm not seeing them, but if you guys do have any other questions, definitely go to MadelineReinhardt.com, shoot me a message. Legendary Love starts next week, and so we're gonna go more into really what Legendary Love is about. It's doing the inner work. It's helping you see what's really going on. It goes further into a lot of these spiritual principles. It goes a lot into meditation. So you can really get out of the prefrontal cortex and into an expanded space. You're not thinking, you're in a space where things that aren't typically revealed to you in a waking conscious state all of a sudden become quite obvious. Like, oh, this is what's been going on. This is actually how I feel. You get in touch with who you really are. So we do a lot of meditations, a lot of inner work. There's a lot of support, a lot of love, a lot of high vibrational energy. That's another thing too. When you surround yourself with high vibrational people, that will rub off on you. Because another way the universe works is that, again, you're not in the vicinity with anybody that you're not a match to. So if someone's really high vibe and you're not, either you have to rise to where they're at, or they have to come down to you. But if you're in a group, in a really sacred, powerful group that's committed to high vibes, it's going to raise you. It's going to force you to raise. So yeah, that was really important to me. So high vibe people, and just a lot of the inner work and a lot of the meditations and a lot of energy work, because thought does have power. I guess I'll leave you on this note too. Know that you really don't have to force anything to happen, and actually force is an opposition of allowing. However, if I were to give you one tip that you could do as practice to begin attracting that soulmate, I would say make a conscious effort, whether you put it on Post-its around your house or you put it on your phone with a timer, make a conscious effort to start implementing beliefs like, my soulmate's on their way. I know it's inevitable. I'm surrounded by love. Every day I align with who I really am. Every day I do things that make me feel good. Every day I find new reasons to love or appreciate something. Because when I'm in the vibration of love or appreciation, guess what I'll be attracting? Love. People that appreciate me. So I would say make a conscious effort to be aware of what you're feeling, And if it's anything less than feeling good, say, okay, what would I want? What do I want to feel? What do I really want? How do I want to feel? And start implementing beliefs or phrases or mantras that put you in that state of being. Put you in that state of knowing it's going to happen. Puts you back in that state of being a match to your own soul. Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, guys, I'm heading out. I love you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I was late. And yeah, check out Legendary Love, MadelineReinhardt.com/soulmate. And it goes a little bit into what we go into the modules, but definitely check it out if you are ready to be in a space of receiving that relationship and you feel like you're ready to look inward and do some of that, the work that a lot of people skip out on. That's just so important. That's really life-changing. So yeah, I'll end it there. Love you guys. Bye.